I had been keeping from my mum that I wanted to be Muslim. I didn't tell anyone in the family. I kept it to myself, you know, because I knew it just wasn't going to be a good reaction, you know. Like, I didn't even know how I was going to eventually tell it. So I'm learning about Islam totally in secret. And then I become Muslim in secret for like 6 months. But it was like, it was very soon after I took my Shahada, or thereabouts, I forget which day it was exactly. I must have been reading the Quran late at night, and instead of putting it like out of the way on top of the shelf, I just left it on my desk, thinking nothing of it. And the next morning, like 8:30, 9 a.m, Saturday morning, whatever it was, I wake up to my mother screaming at me, like just like a banshee, screaming the house down. And I'm like, what's going on? I thought it was a fire or something, or, you know, the car crash on the outside. And I see Mum screaming at me, she's looking at me, and I'm like, what's going on? And then she runs out of the room, and I'm like, what's going on? Look around the room. There's the Quran on my desk, in plain sight. Quickly get dressed. I'm chasing after Mum around the house. You know, it's honestly, she's running from the kitchen to the front room, to the passage, back to the kitchen. I'm trying, it's like something like a cartoon, I'm trying to circle around the house. She's throwing stuff at me, throwing pillows at me, clothing. I eventually cornered her in the kitchen, grabbed her, and we sort of collapsed to the floor. The way they're crying on the floor together. And we were crying for a few minutes, and she just kept saying no, 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 no. And I kept saying, yes, I want to. I want to. I think it was after. I genuinely think it was after. It was a really close period, but I do think it was after the Shahada. Okay. And she gets up and she just sort of runs out the kitchen. And I'm stunned. I didn't know what to do, so I sort of went upstairs. And I thought, okay, just get out of the situation for a minute. She comes upstairs. No, you're not. No, you're not doing it. You're not becoming like them. People hate you. Why are you turning your back on us? Who's done this to you? You know, that's one of the first things she said to me. Who's done this to you? I was like, nobody's done this to me. I've looked into this myself. No one's converted me. No one's brainwashed me. No one's sending me to Syria. None of that. I've read the Quran and it speaks to me and I know it to be the truth. And she's like, no, not in this house. Not my son. And I started talking to her like, I'm a grown man, you know. I'm an adult, it's my life, you know. I gotta do this for myself. And she goes away. And a couple of hours later, we started speaking again. She's like, I can't stop you. I don't approve of it, but I can't stop you. It's your life and you have to do and live as you want. You'll always be my son. I don't approve of this, but you'll always be my son. But she then goes to me, you have to wait 6 months, probably hoping I'd fall off the idea, you know. Obviously that didn't work. I believe I was a Muslim at that point. I was really close to that date. Yeah, I took my Shahada. I was already Muslim for 6 months and I felt so much guilt, honestly, about living a double life of like, oh, I'm going to go see a friend, I'm going to the mosque, you know. Oh, I'm going to go McDonald's or something, I'll be back later, I might see a friend. I'm at the new Muslim meetings in Cardiff for a couple months. Eventually the 6 months expires and it was January of 2020 and I go to it and I was like, 6 months is up, I still want to do it. And she goes, okay, you're your own man, you got to live how you want. Let's just do it to get it over with because you're breaking my heart. Okay. So she made me take my brother-in-law to Darul Isra Mosque, and I'd arranged for a couple of the brothers to take a Shahada with me again in front of my brother-in-law. We go and do that, and I've been Muslim ever since, really. Everyone was a bit shocked because I remember I told everyone at a family party. I finally plucked up the courage to tell everyone I was Muslim at this time because it was at the family. It was an engagement, I think. And I'm not drinking, you know, because everyone's around the tables drinking. Oh, you know, have a beer. You know, do you want a drink? Do you want a glass of wine? I'm like, no. I'm fine. Have some food. I was like, no, I'm fine, because none of it was halal and none of it was like vegetarian either, you know. So no, I'm fine. I'll just have a can of Coke. Anyway, I eventually pluck up the courage and I go around seat to seat. I'm like, I tell my sister I want to become Muslim.